Hey everybody, a Dapper Pigeon here with Cardboard Goblins to talk about my Cabbage Merchant deck. I'm just going to go over some test hands, kind of talk through the general reasoning behind some of it, and just kind of give you guys a feel for how the deck is. So the deck is built around the Cabbage Merchant. Is whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, you get a food token. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to you, you have to sacrifice a food token and you could tap two untapped foods to create one mana of any color. The Cabbage Merchant is two colorless and a green for a human citizen, 2/2. So the whole point of this deck is basically to get Cabbage Merchant down fast, utilize the fact that people are casting non-creature spells to help generate mana. And then you're able to use that mana to shift into combo lines. And there's different creatures and things in the deck to help with that. Um, so basically, that is the general thing about the deck. The deck is mostly an artifact deck. As you'll see, it's all about presenting instant speed wins or being able to put stuff out there at instant speed. Because we get things when players cast non-creature spells. So if we're able to put out a couple value engines onto the board, then it's hard for people to push through knowing that there's the potential for us to win. So I'll just start going over some test hands, kind of show you guys a hand that I would keep. So we're starting off with Heroic Intervention, Lotus Petal, Veil of Summer, Inventor's Fair, Strip Mine, Yavimaya, and Forest. So this hand is okay at first glance, but bad after looking at it further. So at first you have 4 lands, so you are guaranteed to hit your land drop, which is not bad, especially having green sources, because we do play a lot of utility lands and colorless lands. But all we really have is 2 protection pieces and a turn 2 Cabbage Merchant. Um, while it's not bad because we do have the Inventor's Fair, the Inventor's Fair to be able to tutor, it's kind of a weird hand. Um, I would say that I would be likely to keep it because the Inventor's Fair is a way to be able to get Academy Manufacture, which is one of the most important cards with Cabbage Merchant, because every time you create a food, you'll create a clue and a treasure at the same time. But it would be very pod dependent. If I'm expecting a turbo player, I'm not going to be able to really get Academy Manufacture out reliably on turn 2. Um, so if I think that somebody's going to play Necro turn 1, it might not be the best idea, but it is kind of hard to pass up on a turn 2 Cabbage with protection. Just out of curiosity, we would just get another land. Um, so yeah, the whole purpose of it is get Cabbage Man down as early as you can, and then try and get Academy Manufacture realistically. You'll be able to use Academy Manufacture and Cabbage Merchant to create a ton of value and push for a win. So that hand giving us a turn 2 Cabbage Merchant is about okay if it was something I had to keep. But let's assume that's first 7. Second hand is Strip Mine, Shared Summons, Sylvan, Avarice Totem, Battlework Bridge, Forest, and Jaheira. Again, this ends up being actually worse, just being a probably Sylvan Safekeeper turn 1, turn 2 Strip Mine and Avarice Totem, waiting for a turn 3 Cabbage Merchant, which is not what we want to do in this deck at all. So let's hope that we don't see Strip Mine for 2 hands in a row. Maybe we could get something a little bit better to give a good example for how this goes. Not trying to get too deep into it, just trying to do a little short video. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so we have Defend the Rider, Sylvan Safekeeper, Noxious, Haywire, City of Traders, Birds of Paradise, and Bag End Banquet. So this ends up being no green source. So this hand would not be keepable. Bag End Banquet being a very important card can actually go infinite with why am I forgetting the name right now? It goes infinite with Chrome Dome. That is it. You can use Chrome Dome's ability to create a copy of Bag End Banquet. The Bag End Banquet, as long as it taps for enough to be able to activate Chrome Dome again, you will be able to activate Chrome Dome infinitely, creating infinite Bag End Banquets. Then you can create infinite life, I guess, or if you have any other thing that's important out, you could shift into other things like Peregrine Took and then use the infinite foods you create to draw your deck. Academy Manufacturer out obviously just creates infinite of everything, which is really good. And if you have something like Grinding Station out, you can mill everybody. Right, so we got Soul Ring, Skittering Cicada, Beseju, Chancellor, Sowing, Cord, and Avarice Totem. Chancellor can be revealed to create us a green, so this becomes a turn 1 merchant. This is a way to tutor to go get Academy Manufacturer, and then we also have Skittering Cicada for flash in future turns. So this hand would be an amazing, maybe not amazing, very good hand. I would be very happy to see this in any tournament game. Sowing Microspawn in this deck, I do not play Cradle in my version, but there's a lot of utility lands you can go get that are very important. So even just having the option to use this turn 3 or something to go get a good utility land like Fomori's Vault is pretty amazing. The only thing this hand lacks is the ability to interact, because I most likely have to play the Beseju, but I would still have to use a Beseju. But anyway, just wanted to talk a little bit about the Cabbage Merchant and give you guys a little insight into some starting hands. Hope that helps. See you guys in the next one.